Third race of the weekend then for the GT4 Winter Series, and once again it was the Schnitzel-Aum SR Motorsport Mercedes on pole position. However, they are leading the way not for long on this clip, because soon it would be the number 77 car that made its way to the front, once again seeing the Joshua Ratican performance unfold, but this time with company, to be fair. A very good performance from Maximilian Schreier of W&S Motorsport, and some great battling further back as well, as Benoit de Two had a good scrap here with Charlie Robertson. Robertson, who found his way past the Aston Martin in the Invitational Evo Spec BMW M4 GT4. And then Enrico Federer coming under increasing pressure, having already dropped down to third position. Charlie Hart and Tim Horrell, the mega bronze in the Pro-Am, entered number 30, W&S Motorsport Porsche. These guys were having a three-way scrap. Charlie Hart found his way past Federer, and Federer would soon be dispatched as well by Tim Horrell. Unfortunately, going from bad to worse in this race. The Mercedes not looking so sure on its sea legs here at the Circuit of Estoril. Horrell, of course, running in the Pro-Am class. He would soon be handing over to his teammate Nico Grundle, and Grundle was watching on, I'm sure, with a wry smile as Horrell was doing everything he could, tail whipping his way around the corners, and eventually he found his way past Federer. He would then start to close in on Charlie Hart. Sure enough, Charlie Hart would actually hold off Horrell for a number of laps. It was a really impressive defensive drive through the traffic, and indeed with increasing pressure from behind, Enrico Federer and Charlie Robertson waiting in the wings as Horrell looked for any way he could to get past Charlie Hart, who was blocking, defending, and doing an absolutely fabulous job. On a couple of occasions it looked like Horrell had gotten it done, however running wide on this occasion, as we see in this clip, and eventually we would see this move as well. Charlie Robertson finding his way past Enrico Federer. It was now officially going to be a three-way dice, and Charlie Hart with even more pressure to contend with. No such issues for Joshua Ratican. He was building a lead over the second place man, but nonetheless, Max in the W&S Motorsport, number 31, at times closer than anyone else has been to the elite car this weekend. Side-by-side action, Charlie Hart and Tim Horrell really dominated the first half of the race, at least from an action perspective. Only one issue for Maximilian all race long, shut himself in, but otherwise Maximilian Schreier had a very good stint in the number 31 car. Horrell finally found a way past. It was too good to be true though, as we'll see here. Got through momentarily, but then was too ambitious under braking into the Gancho chicane. He and Charlie Hart went side by side. Charlie Robertson stood to attention and said, okay, well, I see an inside line. And he made up two positions in one fell swoop for what was, during this part of the pit window, second position in the race. But the pit stops were coming in thick and fast, and Ravi Ramyeed, unfortunately, one of his first actions of his stint was to kick a lot of gravel onto the circuit, narrowly avoiding a permanent placement in the gravel. Meanwhile, in the second phase of the race, Cedric Fuchs was making up position in great strides. Owen Hizzy getting dispatched here by the number 110 car that at this time was running second in the Cayman Trophy class, but Cedric was on the charge. Ravi Ramyeed having a little bit of an exchange there with the slightly elder BMW. Luisa Kala, meanwhile, was being hunted down by Cedric Fuchs, and Cedric with an Aston Martin to dispatch between himself and his young teammate. But soon enough, they would be together on the circuit. Unfortunately for Maximilian Hewitt in the Aston Martin, running wide there. Cedric Fuchs sensing an opportunity, taking the inside line. There was no retaliation from the Aston Martin. Soon it would be an all Cayman scrap as Louisa Carla and Cedric Fuchs went side by side around the final corner. That is, Louisa on the inside, but Cedric around the outside had the grip, had the momentum, and moved forth into a Cayman Trophy lead that became a Cayman Trophy win. Owen Hizzy dispatched the Aston Martin as he made up a position right at the end of the race. And in amongst it there was Alan Gabay in second place. But Elite Motorsport proving to be unsurmountable this weekend. 3 from 3 for Elite in the GT4 Winter Series. A great way to start the year for them. So the McLaren Artura in the yellow and black, dominating the standings. 15 seconds to the good in race number 1. Over 15 seconds in race 2, and they wrap it up with a 25-second winning margin in the final race of the day. Alan Gabay in second place, Jamo Hartling third for SR Motorsport, Callum Davis holds on to fourth place as Nico Grundel the Pro-Am winner, Ravi Ramid sixth, Cedric Fuchs in seventh place ahead of Louisa Carla, Owen Hizzy in ninth place, and Max Hewitt rounding out the top 10 of the GT4 Winter Series. Club class winner Enrique Oliveira in 11th place ahead of Tilo Gus, our finishing order for GT4 Winter Series race number 3.